Hello, I'm Rusk. Today's video is a full review of the teddy bear cut, and along with two-angle footage shot on my new camera, I'll be explaining each plane one by one. If this is your first time watching, you're probably looking at this 3D image and plane numbers thinking, what is this? When grooming a dog, you can shape it vaguely round from the image in your head, but many groomers build the shape from lines seen from the front, ending up with a flat cut that ignores the 3D form. Even if you're told to cut with the 3D form in mind, without that training, it's only natural that you can't. But if you practice the method I'll show you today, you'll be able to build a 3D form out of combined flat planes. Today, I'll cover the basic process and a few small pointers, but real-world failure examples, the thinking behind them, and how to improve are covered in depth in seminars and members-only lives. If this video isn't enough for you, please consider purchasing those to study further. I'll put the links in the description below. Now let's get started. Off you go! Before shaping, we start by cutting the small details. Trim the lashes as close as possible. If hair covers the eye line, the eyes look smaller, so I recommend trimming close so the black eye line shows up nice and clear. Next, we cut a line at the stop. It's a key line separating the muzzle from the head. If this line is asymmetrical, the muzzle you shape afterward will never come out symmetrical, so make the line precisely without any shift. First, connect one inner eye corner to the other in a straight line. From there, about 2 to 5 millimeters forward. It depends on the muzzle length, so it can be wider, but as a guide, cut the line 2 to 5 millimeters toward the nose. Between the eye corner line and that stop line, remove the hair short, as if carving a groove. The stop line is basically cut straight, at a right angle to the muzzle, but if you want a softer-looking muzzle, you can sometimes cut it as a curve. Even then, be sure the curve is perfectly symmetrical. Finally, create the lip line. Cut right along the lip up to the width of the nose. Past that point, let the cut flow into the muzzle's coat flow. Okay. Now we move on to shaping. Number 1, the forehead. From the stop line we just made, cut straight up at a right angle to the muzzle. Start cutting up not from the line connecting the inner eye corners, but from the stop line you made in front of it. If you cut up right from the eye corners, the hair above the eyes gets extremely short, and you lose the base for shaping the forehead. Cutting up from the stop line in front leaves a gap from the eye corners, letting you use the coat that naturally stands upward. That said, for seniors or short-muzzled dogs whose coat flows forward, you may sometimes cut up right from the eye corners. Also, if you cut upward at an angle leaning backward, instead of at a right angle to the muzzle, the forehead hair gets short and the head becomes harder to shape after. So first, always cut straight up, and if it still looks long, trim the parts that bother you. At the end. Number 2, above the eyes. Place your scissors in front of the eye, angled from inner to outer corner, and cut straight up from there. If you place the scissors right above the eye here, you'll cut too short, so place them in front of the eye, not above it, connecting to plane number 1. If you focus too hard and get too close to the dog, or overthink the angle and cut looking down from above, you'll very likely take too much off number 2. So keep some distance, place the scissors in front of the eye, not above it, and cut straight up. If you're afraid of overcutting the surrounding hair and cut only above the eye, exiting at the outer corner, you won't build a full plane. So from where you place the scissors, cut straight up as long as there's hair. Number 3 connects the side of the eye to the front of the ear. It's a very difficult plane, so if it's hard to cut precisely at this stage, you can also connect it after finishing the outline planes number 11 and number 14. That works fine too. Connect from plane number 2 to the width of the outline. Aim not for the facial outline width at the ear front, but toward the center of the whole head's roundness. Like number 2, cut number 3 straight up as long as there's hair. This plane has many caution points, and failing it leads to a very sad result. So read through these cautions well, keep some distance from the dog, and cut with the aim of connecting to the full width of the head. If cutting from the front is difficult, another way is to view from the side and remove the remaining corners. So for details, check the in-depth guide on my members-only site. Number 4, the back of the head. Decide the head size you want, then cut at a right angle to the spine, vertical to the floor. If the dog's neck is stretched forward or it's sitting, the angle relative to the floor changes. So have the dog standing properly, neck in position, when you cut number 4. When cutting the back of the head, you tend to get too close, and since you can't see the facial features, it's easy to get the angle wrong. If this plane is tilted, the whole back of the head ends up crooked, so set the scissors against the muzzle side first to get a true right angle. Then bring them to the back of the head and cut straight, keeping that angle. Peering in as you cut also tends to tilt it, so always stand directly beside the dog, checking the plane's angle as you cut straight. Number 5, the lower back of the head. Cut the lower part connecting number 4 to the neck at a slant. If the head is small with short hair, like a tidy short style, number 5 may be buried in the neck and barely exist. There's nothing especially hard about this plane, just take care not to gouge into it. Number 6, behind the ear. Connect number 4 with side width number 11 at about 40 degrees. With a tidy short style, it can get steeper, maybe around 45 degrees in some cases. Vertically, it's the same as number 4, perpendicular to the table. If you try to round from behind the ear into the center of the back of the head, number 4 loses its width, and the back of the head loses its roundness. Number 4 and number 6 are separate planes, so keep the full width of each. Number 7, behind the ear. Matching number 6's angle, cut down diagonally behind the ear. Until you're used to it, shape the front of the face like number 10 first, then cut number 7 so it connects to number 6. Remember, the plane number 7 connects to is number 6. Number 8, under the chin. Set its height to match the face size you want. The line here is straight. Cutting while peering up from below tends to cut into the hair deep on the cheeks, so focus on cutting straight, viewed from the front. A dog's jaw differs in thickness from tip to back. If you cut number 26 at the tip too close, you won't be able to connect it to number 8 at the back, so don't mix up number 26 and number 8. Set the height at the back of the throat. At number 8's height, it's fine to cut the hair of number 26. As well, be careful not to pinch the throat skin, especially around the whisker roots, with your scissors and cause an injury. Number 9, the base of the face, the plane connecting its front and back. It runs from number 8 under the chin to number 5 at the back of the head. Cut straight, parallel to the floor. I recommend cutting it viewed from directly beside. Number 10, under the ear. This plane cuts up from number 9, the base, toward the side width of the face. The angle is about 45 degrees. These are rough framing cuts, so trimming the corners after building the planes leaves the finish smaller and rounder than the shape you first made. If the face feels wide and you want to tighten number 11, first check number 3 and number 14, number 13, number 10, number 31, and so on, whether any other planes are left uncut or corners remain between the planes. Check thoroughly first. Very often, the face isn't big because of number 11's width. It's the surrounding planes and corners not being fully removed that make the face look big. Common failures and fixes for this plane are covered in depth on my members-only site and lives, so check those out too. Number 12, directly behind the ear. This plane runs from the front of the face, past the ear, to right behind it. I said earlier that number 11 connects not to the back of the head, but to right behind the ear. So move your scissors past the ear to connect into this number 12. Dogs with small heads or ears set high or far back don't have this number 12. This wig also lacked the width for number 12, so I'm skipping it. It's a very important plane for Korean bear ear palm cuts, big-headed teddy bear cuts, mash cuts, and the like, so study it in those lessons. Number 13, the base of the cheek. In this video, number 13 is cut together with the muzzle later, so there's no cutting scene here. Viewed from the front, create the upward cut line of the cheek. If you lift the chin and cut looking up from below, you'll overcut the hair deep on the cheeks and end up with thin, flat cheeks, so keep the shape firmly in mind and don't overcut. I've numbered this number 13, but until you're used to it, cutting it after muzzle number 27, connecting into number 10 makes it harder to fail. Though I say beware of overcutting, I feel more people actually leave too much. So if the face looks big or the cheeks heavy, go ahead and take number 13 down properly. Number 14, the roof of the head, a very, very important plane that sets the head's shape and size. Picture your ideal head size, and as if building a roof, cut straight back while viewing from directly in front. If you shape number 14 viewing from diagonally above, number 20 and number 3 near the eyes get left too long, while the deeper plane number 15 gets overcut. Always view from directly in front and move the scissors straight back. Matching this roof's angle to the flow of the ear hair gives you a head angle that blends in naturally. Also, parting the head hair down the middle makes it easy to compare the angle and length of both sides. I recommend it. On your left, the wrist is hard to position, and before you know it, the angle differs from the right side, or your scissors drift diagonally inward as you cut. This happens very often, so mind the angle carefully and cut straight toward the back. Number 15, the outline of the head. This is probably a plane many of you have been vaguely rounding off toward the back of the head. But this plane is the very outline of the head seen from diagonally above. Mind the angle and width and build it carefully. From roof number 14, head diagonally down and back, connecting into number 6. Rounding by feel from diagonally above tends to shave off the fullness at the upper back of the head, so be careful. If you aim for the center of the back of the head as when cutting number 6, you'll shave off number 4's width, leaving a long, narrow back of the head. Number 15 heads toward number 6. If the ear is in the way, cup it in your hand and bring it forward. The connection from number 15 to number 6 becomes easier to cut. Number 16, the head height. Cut at the height you like, viewing from directly in front or the side. The angle here is parallel to the table. Take care not to keep cutting in a curve that rolls into number 17 behind it. Always build the planes one at a time. Number 17, the upper back of the head. Viewed from the side, it connects top number 16 with number 4 at the back. You may notice number 17's angle on the model, and this 3D image looks a bit steep. That's because a dog's head hair, except the forehead, basically flows falling backward or to the sides. This number 17 angle is set by picturing how the hair lies in its natural coat flow. So if you cut at this angle right after fluffing with a comb, the hair at the back of the head gets very short. Be careful. Number 18, the forehead height. Round off the corner connecting forehead plane number 1 with top plane number 16. Trying to blend it round tends to shave down number 1's height. So keep the full height of number 1 you cut straight up, and remove only the corner connecting to number 16. In practice, many dogs have thin, floppy head hair, so I often cut with little angle, keeping as much of the upright forehead hair as possible. Number 19, the forehead corner. Cut to connect number 2 above the eyes with top plane number 16. As with the previous plane, keep number 2's full height and cut away only the connecting corner. Number 20, above the front of the ear. Likewise, this connects number 3 with top number 16. Be sure to keep number 3's height. Many people confuse the angles of number 2 with number 19 and number 3 with number 20. Always treat the planes cut straight up and the planes connecting to the top as separate when you cut. On big-headed styles like Afro or Korean bear cuts, this number 20 plane may not exist. In that case, cut to connect number 14 into number 2 or number 3. Number 21. The roundness deep on the muzzle. Tuck the dog's chin and, looking down slightly from above, cut the roundness at the back of the upper muzzle. Here, if you cut viewing straight from the front, or the scissors tilt toward you even slightly more than you intend, you'll carve deeply into the upper muzzle plane. That causes a droopy, triangular muzzle, so be careful. It's not shown on this 3D model, but the latest model adds a plane called number 32 behind this number 21. Number 32 is the plane separating the muzzle side from the cheek hair. It's numbered number 32, but in the cutting order, it comes at the very start of the muzzle cut. Put the line in before number 22. Number 22. The stop line. This plane sits at the middle of the muzzle, behind the bulge, and where you start cutting connects directly to the stop line made at the very start. At the angle you usually see a dog, looking slightly down, this plane becomes the muzzle's outline. Cut straight, at a right angle to the muzzle, so it connects into number 21. Number 23. The muzzle outline. As with number 22, tucking the chin and cutting while viewing slightly from above prevents overcutting. At just the height where you can see the eyes, set the angle to match the muzzle shape you want. If, fearing a droopy triangular muzzle, you barely angle this side and only trim a little, the muzzle area gets wide and ends up square and clunky. Even with number 23 angled, if you cut its opposite side, under the chin, at the same angle, the muzzle won't droop. Picture a diamond, and mind the angles of the facing top and bottom planes. Rather than angling only the outer edge of the muzzle side, a gentle downward slope starting from the inner eye corner gives a polished look. Number 24. The muzzle outline. Like number 22 and number 23, tuck the dog's chin and cut viewing slightly from above. Picture the muzzle shape you want and set the height you like. Number 25. The corner at the nose tip. Raise the dog's chin slightly and cut the corner on the nose tip side. When photographing a poodle from the front, muzzle hair sometimes covers the eyes so they can't be seen. The hair covering them is usually not the upper muzzle hair, but this corner on the nose tip side. Raise the chin slightly and take the corner, looking through the hair. Once the center is done, tilt the scissors slightly and take the nose tip corners on the sides too. Number 26. Under the muzzle. Round off the chin tip corner to match the muzzle size you want. It runs from the chin tip through number 26 into number 8. I recommend cutting this plane viewing slightly from above. During the muzzle cut, always stay aware of your viewing angle, the plane you're shaping, and the final muzzle shape you want. I didn't explain this back at number 8 and number 9, but for big heads like Afro cuts or Korean bear cuts, this under chin line is crucial. Cutting from the front very likely takes too much from deep under the cheeks, so view from the side, curving chin tip to under chin with the roundness in mind. Number 27. The upsweep of the muzzle, a very important plane that sets the standard for the muzzle shape. Though it's an upsweep plane, it also directly affects the muzzle width, so if you want a wide muzzle, keep plenty of distance from the nose to number 27. Set your scissors at a right angle to the radiating coat flow on the underside of the muzzle, and as you move back, open them diagonally down and outward. If you peer in while cutting here, you'll carve away the back of the muzzle, so be careful. Even if you cut number 27 and the width plane number 28 short, as long as the cheek hair of number 13 remains, the teddy bear outline stays the same size. So a round face with a small, compact muzzle is also possible. Number 28. The muzzle width. Cut the width to match the muzzle size you want. As a guide, the depth goes up to the stop line. Cutting too far back breaks up the outline. Wrist habits show up especially here, making it easy to go asymmetrical. Don't balance by feel. Make the distance from the nose and the scissor angle properly symmetrical. On your right, it's easy to see and cut, so the scissors go in straight. But on your left, your wrist blocks the view of the distance from the nose, so adjust, say, by viewing slightly from above, to match both sides. Number 29. The muzzle corner. Connect by removing the corner between the radiating muzzle surface and number 28. Be careful not to just vaguely round the corner off. So as not to ruin the outline you worked to build, remove the corner following the outline precisely. Looking through the hair from about a 45-degree angle makes the corner easier to take off. If the muzzle looks bigger in photos than while you were cutting, it's usually because this number 29 corner, the number 25 corner above, and the number 30 corner below weren't fully removed. That's the usual cause. Number 30. The muzzle corner. Viewed slightly from above, this plane connects the muzzle surface and number 27 by removing the corner. Cutting parallel to its opposite, number 21, as if forming a diamond, makes the top-bottom balance easier and gives a clean line. Holding the chin and peering up from below, or viewing head-on, you can't see this number 30 corner. View slightly from above and remove the lower corner. If the underside of the muzzle looks heavy when the dog's on the floor or in photos, it's usually because this plane wasn't fully taken. Number 31, the last plane, connecting the head side with the muzzle. View from directly above and cut straight downward. When the cheeks look heavy or the face looks big, sometimes number 13 hasn't been taken, but very often it's this number 31 that's been missed. The face is mostly done by plane number 30, so number 31 is easy to forget, but holding the hair flowing from under the eyes with only number 27 and number 13 leaves corners behind, so build number 31 properly, creating a base that catches the cheek hair. This one plane dramatically changes the face's dimension, so shape it with full attention. So, what did you think? You can shape a round face from a vague mental image, but small wrist habits or viewing angles throw off the left and right, leaving the face crooked. Or you can tell the sides differ somehow, but can't tell where. That's what happens. Plane by plane. Where am I cutting now? Where does this plane connect? Am I cutting both sides at the same angle? By combining the planes with that firmly in mind, you can build a beautiful, perfectly symmetrical 3D form. If you've never cut with planes in mind, it's very hard, and at first you may fail and even do worse than before, but don't give up, keep at it. Once you can control planes and form, you'll be able to picture how those cuts in photos you see online were created and recreate them yourself without anyone teaching you. Grooming is fun when you can cut them cute, right? I hope you'll be able to greet owners at pickup with a cut you're fully confident in. Thank you for watching. May tomorrow's grooming be fun as well. Oh, one more thing. To keep the explanation smooth, this video only shows the necessary cutting scenes, but for the true enthusiasts who want to watch the entire cut from start to finish, the full video is on sale for 1,000 yen. Of course, even if you're not interested, buying it just to show support would make me really happy. Thank you as always. See you again in a live stream. Bye-bye.